Ladies and gentlemen of the air design, the beautiful, the majestic, the divine, the valuable, the golden excellent King Leo VI. And you are listening to Squared Circle Cafe. And if you are not, you deserve a beheading.
All right, here we go. Live. We are on the air right now. Welcome to the Squared Circle Cafe. I am your hostess, Daria. Come on in, sit a spell, have a nice cup of joe on this cool spring evening. It is, as this is being recorded, it is May 16th. We are 3 days away from Money in the Bank this coming Sunday, live on the WWE Network. So hopefully I'll be checking that out. I know my family will, I know Beth will, and I know our returning co-host will. Everyone, welcome back, Jeremy.
Yes, indeed. I am back coming to you from Anadarko, Oklahoma. Tonight, about an hour southwest of Oklahoma City. I'm about, as it stands, I'm about 15 days from finally, hopefully, going home.
I think that deserves.
Right? Yeah, I've been in the hospital now. Let's see, I've been in the hospital since January 7th of this year. From, believe it or not, a bone infection in my right hip. This all stems from a bout with Horner's gangrene in my pelvic area and some pressure wounds that then turned into sepsis while I was on vacation. We won't get too deep into that because I know there's still some guilty feelings over that, which there shouldn't be.
Well, he knows you.
Yeah.
But, nevertheless, the bone infection thing developed fairly quickly. One day I was at home recovering, I thought, fairly well, and the next day I was at an appointment getting checked, and they said, you need to go to the hospital, like, stat. So I go to the hospital, and then the next morning I'm getting put under for the next day I'm getting put under to have my bone scraped out and the infection taken out of my right hip. So I basically have no right hip now. So, yeah. That's been a whole lot of fun. Not.
I can imagine. Well, the important thing is that you're healthy, you're recovering, you're here. We miss you.
Well, I was going to say, I'm not fully healthy yet. I've still got a ways to go, but I'm getting to a point where they feel like it's going to be safe for me to go home. I've got quite a ways to go in my recovery process. I'm obviously going to have to be continually followed for wound care, and unfortunately, it looks like I made the right call in not going for FanFest, because there's just no way any doctor is going to clear me with that short of a turnaround.
Exactly.
So, as much as I want to be there, it's just not happening. But, that said, I think, didn't you say there's plans to do a show live from there?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
we're going to have to figure this out, because I want to be on that show even if I'm not present live.
Yeah, we're going to do we're going to do what I want to do. I want to do both an audio show, and I also want to go live on YouTube. So We're definitely gonna figure that. We're definitely gonna figure that one out. But yes, the Fan Fest he's referring to is the New England Fan Fest, which is happening June 7th and 8th at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Warwick, Rhode Island. On June 7th will be the Hall of Fame ceremony. Two of the Hall of Famers that are actually going in are two former guests of ours, Romeo and Antonio, the Heartthrobs, who will also be appearing at the New England Fan Fest as vendor guests, along with Brutus the Barber Beefcake, Greg the Hammer Valentine, Honky Tonk Man, and our special guest we're bringing to our table, Sizzling Stan Styles, coming off of his Intergender Bonanza, which he's also playing for number 4, so congratulations to him. And also, Jazz will be appearing, but not the Jazz you think. Will we get Jazz Fitness, or are we going to get Jazz Vengeance? Who knows? You'll just have to come to our table to find out for yourself. We'll have merchandise to sell, as well as t-shirts, and other little trinkets you can get to represent the Square Circle Cafe. Be sure to check it out. Like I said, it's June 7th and 8th at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Warwick, Rhode Island. Get your tickets soon. You go All Access Entertainment. Access is spelled with 2 X's. AllAccessEntertainment.com to get your tickets. You can get a gold package. You can get a bronze package. You can get a platinum package. You can get regular tickets. Doesn't matter. As long as you show up. Crown Plaza Hotel, Warwick, Rhode Island, June 7th and 8th. So be sure to check that out. Alright, so like I said, we are 3 days away from Money in the Bank, which is coming up this Sunday. And we've already had some news concerning Money in the Bank. Beth, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can let the audience know exactly what I'm talking about.
All right, so it came out today that due to a potential concussion, Alexa Bliss has actually not been medically cleared to compete on Sunday in the Money in the Bank match. So much like Raw this past Monday, Alexa's spot in the match is going to be taken by, and this fills me with great joy, Nikki Cross.
Which is actually a good thing, considering the fact that since she's moved over to Raw, we have yet to see 1 or 2 things happening with Nikki.
Can't that be said from so much talent on the roster?
True that. So, Jeremy, how do you feel about this news? How do you feel about this news coming out today?
Well, I don't hate it. They're doing something with her, which is good. But at the same time, it automatically makes me feel like she's not going to win it.
Oh?
I mean, I don't think she's going to win it based off of that. Because I mean, she's a replacement. It seemed like they were building towards Alexa winning it for the second time in a row. And now, I mean, who's left that makes sense?
Well, let's see here. I'm going through to determine who we've got for the card here for the women's ladder match. All right. We have Natalya, Carmella, Dana Brooke, Ember Moon, Bayley, now Nikki Cross, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's Naomi and who's the other part? I can't think of who the other person is from SmackDown.
Did you say Mandy Rose?
Yes, Mandy Rose.
Okay.
Can't forget her.
Alright, so while we're on... Okay, so... let's run down the card, shall we?
Alright.
Let's do it.
Alright, we have on the kickoff show, we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, which will be on the line, as the champions Daniel Bryan and Rowan will be facing off against the visiting Usos from Raw. We have the Cruiserweight Championship on the line as the champion Tony Nese to battle Arya Daivari. United States Championship is on the line as Samoa Joe faces Rey Mysterio in a rematch from WrestleMania. We have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We have not one, but two women's championship matches, both featuring the same champion. As Becky, two belts, Becky Lynch, the man, will be defending the Raw Women's Championship against the lady, Lacey Evans, and the SmackDown Women's Championship against the Queen, Charlotte Flair. The Miz to challenge Shane McMahon in a steel cage match. Roman Reigns versus Elias. The WWE Championship will be on the line as the defending champion Kofi Kingston will be putting it on the line against Kevin Owens. The Universal Championship is on the line as the Universal Champion, the Beast Slayer, Seth Rollins, will face the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. Alright, let's get to it, shall we? SmackDown Tag Team Championship on the line. SmackDown Tag Team Championship had to be vacated due to the fact that Jeff Hardy has a knee injury, which is going to put him out for most of the year. So, rather than have a tournament, Shane McMahon decided to hand the titles to Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan until the Usos, visiting over from Raw after being drafted over to Raw, said that that wasn't going to happen. They wanted to have a matchup. They did have the matchup. Eric Rowan and Daniel Bryan did win the match, which made them the SmackDown Tag Team Champions. So now we're going to have a rematch, and that's going to be on the kickoff show this Sunday on Raw. Jeremy, we'll start with you. Should we have new tag team champions, or should Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan continue their run on SmackDown?
I can't see this going any other way but Rowan and Bryan. I mean, unless you want to completely just demolish the frickin' brand split any more than you already have. I mean, as it is, you've got. I can live with Becky Lynch crossing over for the time being, although I think that ends soon. More on that coming up. But I think it's going to be Bryan and Rowan.
All right, Beth, what do you say?
Okay. It's the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. So, Bryan and Rowan winning it is the only thing that makes sense unless they're going to put them back on the Usos and bring the Usos back to SmackDown so that they're not taking up 2 wild card spots every week. I'm definitely going with Rowan and Bryan, though, for it, because, like I said, they are actually SmackDown wrestlers. But can we just note that in the past 3 months, this is the second pay-per-view that the SmackDown Tag Team Championship is apparently valued so little that it's put on the kickoff show. I mean, it was on the kickoff show for WrestleMania.
Yes, it was.
So, why is the Raw Tag Team Championship so much more important than the SmackDown one, that Raw makes it onto the main show, SmackDown ends up being relegated to the pre-show when, no offense, overall, pretty much most of the WWE universe would agree that SmackDown's the better show.
Actually, now I'm looking at the card. The Raw Tag Team Championships aren't even listed. This is going to sound weird, and I'm sorry to ask this, but who are the Raw Tag Team Champions right now?
Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins.
Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins,
okay.
Miraculously.
Alright, I just want to be sure that I'm not going crazy, because I knew we had Raw Tag Team Champions. I guess I just couldn't remember who they were. Well, I'm going to have to agree with everybody on this one, because as much as I don't like the fact that Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan are the tag team champions, well, like with Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, it's kind of, right now, there's really, I don't even know what to say, because honestly, I do not like the fact that a tag team, Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan weren't even a tag team. Daniel Bryan was a singles competitor, Eric Rowan was just his muscle. and now all of a sudden they're a tag team. Doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm not like really fond of the fact that the two of them are tag team champions, but at least we have, you know, the titles are there. I would rather have been on a more established team, but I guess until they can actually have an established team like Sanity challenge for the belts, this is what they have to do for now. So yeah, I don't see.
Yeah, we don't have Sanity anymore.
That's
Alexander
right.
Wolf's gone to WWE UK. Literally, the only member of Sanity left on SmackDown is Killian Dane. And no offense, when the hell was the last time we saw or heard from him?
Or Eric Young, for that matter.
Eric Young's on Raw.
Oh
He got moved to Raw
yeah.
during the brand split.
Way to go, WWE. Anyway, so yeah. And I'm
There's some
going
real
with.
logic that has no logic.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm going also with Daniel Bryan and Eric Rowan. Alright, the Cruiserweight Championship is on the line as Tony Nese will defend against Ariya Daivari. Tony Nese knocked off Buddy Murphy in becoming the champion at WrestleMania. Ariya Daivari feels it's his time to reign as champion. Unfortunately, I haven't caught up too much on 205 Live to really pay attention to what this feud is going on. I apologize for that. That's on me. But for me, I would love to see Oney Lorcan versus Tony Nese now that Oney Lorcan is on the 205 Live roster.
Okay.
So for that alone, I would love to see Tony Nese retain.
With all due respect, I understand your feelings about Oni. Yes, Oni has been in NXT for almost four years now. So yes, it's about time that they finally did something with him. But no offense, another person that they now have on 205 Live that they don't seem to be doing a whole hell of a lot with. What about Mike Kanellis?
So who would you rather see Mike Kanellis face, Tony Nese or Ariya Daivari?
Honestly, I'd like to see, first of all, to like build him up and get him some decent matches going and stuff. Honestly, I'd like to see Kanellis facing people like Gulak and Oni, and give him the chance to prove himself. I mean, the man has gone through everything that he's gone through. He's doing much better for himself. He's taking his sobriety and running with it, and it's like they're writing him off and not giving him a chance. It's not like they haven't had people who've had addiction issues in the past that they've ended up coming back and actually doing things with. As much as it pains me to say this, look at Jeff Hardy. Look at his storied past. Look where he is on the roster. Why are you treating Kanellis this way? The man has a hell of a lot of talent, not only in the ring, but also on the microphone, because some of his promos and Impact as the Miracle were freaking incredible.
Yes, you brought up a good point. So Tony Nese or Ariya Daivari?
Honestly, I feel that Nese needs the chance to run with the title a bit more and to prove himself. I mean, yes, Daivari's a good wrestler, but give Nese a chance to shine.
All right, Jeremy, how about you?
I say Nese for the same reason. Give him a chance to run with it a bit more.
All right, excellent. All right. United States Championship is on the line as Samoa Joe faces off against Rey Mysterio. We had a shortened match at WrestleMania, and then we had another rematch on Raw. So this is pretty much the rubber match between the two of them. However, it seems as though Dominic is getting involved with this because Samoa Joe has said a few choice words to Dominic about his father. Which, I'm sorry to say, every time I look at Dominic, I still see that little boy from that SummerSlam match, but that's just me. Can't get over just how big the kid is. But anyway, so with that being said, I'm liking the fact that Samoa Joe is a heel and stuff, and as much as I love and respect Rey Mysterio, I'm not ready for Ray to carry the title just yet, at least not the United States Championship. So for me, I'm putting my money on Samoa Joe. Jeremy?
I'm gonna say Samoa Joe. I don't see why you need to involve Dominic in it, but that's just me. It does make it a little more personal, but really, you didn't exactly need to make it personal. It just needed to be about the title.
Yeah.
Honestly, with all due respect, I feel that Mysterio is going to get it, but to me, the whole thing with this match is I feel like this is actually more of the payback for the fact that they kind of got screwed at WrestleMania, where their match didn't go on until their match didn't go on until 11 o'clock at night. There were still 4 more matches after theirs before the main event, and everybody was tired, so they made it quick. So I feel this time it's actually going to be a decently long match, so that we're actually going to, feel like we actually got to see something. And I think that they're going to, just because of the way they've been painting Ray and everything. I feel that Ray's going to win it, but I'm kind of iffy on whether Dominic is going to end up helping him or trying to hinder him, because it's honestly, with the vignettes they've been doing and stuff, it's honestly starting to look like Joe's starting to get in Dominic's head.
Oh, dear Lord, no, please, God, Mama, don't do that.
I heard him say that.
But if it happens, just remember,
I booked it.
That's right. Say it again, Jeremy, for those who missed it in the back.
If it happens, you booked it.
So I say that. All right, we have the first of 2 ladder matches happening on the card. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match. As we know, the winner who gets the Money in the Bank briefcase gets a contract that guarantees them a title shot within 1 calendar year, at any time, any place, against against the Raw Championship, or whatever brand you win. We have 4 on Raw, 4 on SmackDown. SmackDown star wins, he can challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship. Raw wins, you can challenge for the Universal Championship, or you can go completely rogue and challenge for either one, depending on what floats your boat. And for the Raw side, we have Drew McIntyre replacing Braun Strowman, Sami Zayn, Baron Corbin, and Ricochet. For the SmackDown side, we have Randy Orton, Finn Balor, Andrade, and Ali. All these men.
Why do I think like the Braun Strowman replacement is going to stick?
Say that again?
Why do I feel like the Strowman replacement is not going to stick?
Well, it's being rumored that, and the real reason why that Sami Zayn was replaced in the matchup was because Braun is currently working through injuries and may not be able to perform as much as WWE would like him to have, considering, if he's working with injuries and stuff. So Braun had to be pulled from the matchup, so they had Sami Zayn take his place.
Oh.
Which I guess, yeah, it's interesting and all, but it's still, we'll still have to see how this is going to play out as far as how it's going to affect in the matchup, especially with Sami Zayn's new attitude. Alright, so each of these guys have something to prove here. Baron Corbin, Randy Orton are both former Money in the Bank winners. This will be Ali's first time in a Money in the Bank match, as well as Ricochet and Andrade. Finn Balor is the only champion in the match as the Intercontinental Champion. And as I said, Sami Zayn is replacing Braun Strowman in this matchup. So, with that being said, Do you think, okay, which of these 8 guys do you think will become the Mr. 2019 Money in the Bank? Beth, we'll start with you.
Okay. My heart wants McIntyre. Unfortunately, with the way they're doing McIntyre lately, somehow I see McIntyre being used as a pawn to help Corbin win the briefcase for the second time, so that Corbin gets his redemption story this time with having won it before and then pretty much tanked after winning it.
Say that again.
I'm not giving you the satisfaction.
All right then.
So I'm going with Corbin for the win. And you know I don't like him, so.
Yeah, I know you don't. I don't think any of us do. Do you, Jeremy?
No, I don't like him, but unfortunately, I think it's Corbin. I really do, because they're all advertisements in other markets that say Seth is going to face him at some point. And that would seem to suggest to me that he cashes in possibly that night.
Alright, I get that. I don't know, I guess I'm going to be the optimistic one here. Because quite honestly, I would love to see somebody new. Like, I know this sounds weird, yeah. Well, I mean, all the guys are established talents and stuff like that, but somebody like Andrade, Ricochet, or Ali, or even Finn for that matter, could have just as much chance of winning it as anyone else, as you two stated, Corbin. So for me, I would love to see somebody who had a bit of a push and then got pushed aside, and I would love to see him get pushed back again, and I think having the Money in the Bank contract will do that for him. For me, I'm going with El Idolo. I'm going with Andrade. Because I think Andrade has an awesome chance at becoming Money in the Bank and somewhere down the line cashing it in against Kofi Kingston, because I think that would be an awesome moment. And Andrade is one of the better talents they have on the SmackDown roster. I would love for that guy to see a chance at becoming world champion. So for me, I'm going with El Idolo. Alright. We have the first of 2 women's title matches. We're going to start with the Raw Women's Championship, as Becky Two Belts, the man, Becky Lynch, will be defending against the self-proclaimed real lady of the WWE, which is Lacey Evans.
Fuck that bitch.
Lacey Evans has come out time and time again and proven that she wants to bring class back to the women's division, and she feels she is the woman to do it, and does not feel that the man has what it takes to be a true champion, or for that matter, a true lady. So she's taken it upon herself to challenge Becky Two Belts in becoming the Raw Women's Champion. Becky, of course, has gone on to say that she'll take on all challenges at anywhere, anytime, and decided to defend not one, but both of her titles at this pay-per-view. The other title match we'll get to later. So she was more than happy to accept Lacey's challenge to become for the Raw Women's Championship. Now for me, as much as I think Lacey's funny. She makes me laugh and stuff. She just reminds me of like that scene in A League of Their Own where they're all in the, where they're all in the etiquette classes, gracefully and grandfully, gracefully and grandfully. I don't know, it just makes me laugh like that. But let's face it, she's facing the man. I mean, I think Becky has got what it takes to really be one of the better champions we've seen in a long time. I don't see Lacey winning this anytime soon. And let's not forget too, whenever they have the Money in the Bank ladder match, that could still be in the background. So even if one of them does win, there's still the chance of someone cashing in the case like Alexa did last year. But if I had to pick a winner for this match, for me, I'm sorry, my money's on the man. Now, Beth, even though you pretty much made it quite obvious your feelings for Lacey Evans, let's hear your predictions.
The man.
The man?
Nuts said.
All right, Jeremy, how about you?
I'm going with Becky.
Becky, 2 belts?
Yep.
Nice. Well, let me ask you just off the record, because like I said, I say Lacey makes me laugh. Beth can't stand her. What's your opinion on Lacey Evans?
Can't stand her.
Can't stand her, huh?
Can't stand her. Have to mute her.
Oh, you've gotten to the mute point.
Yeah.
That's understandable. That's understandable. All right, that's cool. So we have. So I like I said, I like her for comedic effect. You two just can't stand her, but that's fine. All right. We have.
Not funny. She's obnoxious.
All right.
Right?
Which explains why you like her.
Yeah. There's such a thing as obnoxiously funny.
Obnoxiously annoying.
Don't go with Beth on that one.
Hey, I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I think it's. I mean, I personally can't stand her as well. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the whole lady gimmick and stuff. It's just something about her. All right, we have a cage match coming up. The Miz has been having some serious issues with Shane McMahon for a very long time. So much so that Shane has done everything he can to make Miz's life a living nightmare. And at the same time, Miz wants to get his hands on Shane once and for all and end it. So they're finally going to get their chance inside of a 15-foot high steel cage. The Miz will finally shut Shane McMahon up, or Shane will show why he's the so-called quote-unquote best in the world. Jeremy, take it away.
Why do I get the feeling this is just another excuse for Shane McMahon to fall off something really, really high?
Oh, yeah?
Because it's so obvious that a blind man can fucking see it coming.
Yeah. Needless to say, I think Shane's gonna jump off the cage, he's gonna jump off the cage, he and Miz are gonna go off the cage, through the announce table, and it's gonna end up being a no contest to further extend this thing. They're gonna go to SummerSlam with this. I'm almost certain of it.
Alright, Beth?
In my opinion, Miz needs to win this because otherwise Miz is going to look like a complete frickin' idiot. I have the feeling that Miz is going to try to do something off of the top of the cage to basically frickin' one-up Shane. And, but I think this is also because of the fact that Shane's been, bringing all of his little cronies in to come after frickin' Miz. I think that this is the perfect example of a cage match actually being used for what a cage match is supposed to do. Keeping the participants in and keeping interference out. So, honestly, I'm going with the Miz.
Yeah, I'm also going with the Miz on this one, because quite frankly, for me, I'm kind of a little sick and tired of the whole Shane McMahon calling himself the best in the world, and I just want Miz to shut him up. And I think, yeah, Miz will probably do something crazy enough to try to outdo Shane in a cage match. I mean, Shane may try to get someone to interfere, who knows? Let's face it, it's Shane McMahon, he does pretty much whatever he wants. But for me, I'm pretty much wanting to see this over and done with and see the Miz move on from it. So for me, I'm going with the Miz. Alright, we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. As it was stated earlier, Alexa Bliss was pulled due to concussion issues, so she will no longer be participating. So for Raw, we have Natalya, Nikki Cross, Dana Brooke,
and Naomi.
For SmackDown, we have Carmella, Bayley, Mandy Rose, and Ember Moon. Carmella is a former Women Money in the Bank winner and has successfully cashed it in on the Queen. Let's not forget that. And each of these women, I think with the exception of Natalya and Carmella, oh yeah, Naomi too. No, Carmella and Natalya are the only two ever to win in a Money in the Bank ladder match. The other ones, this is the first time for them. So, same thing applies. The winner will get to choose the champion of their choice to challenge, whether it be a SmackDown competitor or a Raw competitor, or they could switch it up and challenge the other program's champion. In this case, of course, being the man. Unless said otherwise after we do our SmackDown predictions. Now, for me, I'm looking at this right now, and I would have to say my pick in this, I would love to see Ember Moon as the Miss Money in the Bank. I think Ember has been up there long enough. It's time for her to take a run at a chance of being a champion. I would love for her to grab that briefcase and challenge whoever is the champion at that point to becoming a champion herself. So for me, my pick in this matchup is Ember Moon. Beth?
If they're going to make anything out of her after all of the freaking build-up they've been giving her for the past friggin' year, the winner has to be Mandy. Because she's been hovering just on the edge, not really anything that matters. No offense, that's the exact same thing they did with Carmella. If the formula works and it ain't fucking broke, don't try to fix it.
So you're going with Mandy Rose?
Yes.
Alright, Jeremy?
I am going, this is going to seem like maybe a homer pick, maybe not. Y'all know I love me some Bayley. Not shy about admitting it. That's my pick, and it's going to become obvious why when we do the SmackDown picks.
So, hey, you want some Bayley?
Yeah. It's going to become obvious why when we get to the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Alright. We have Roman Reigns versus Elias. Vince McMahon announced that he gotten the greatest acquisition in SmackDown history and pretty much blew everybody's minds when he said it was Elias, when in fact in reality it was Roman Reigns. Roman took that to heart, and not only Superman punched Elias, but also Superman punched the boss, which set the ire of Shane McMahon, who has helped Elias try to get a one-up on Roman Reigns every week since said punch. So now Elias challenged Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns accepted, and now the two of them will be facing each other at Money in the Bank. So Jeremy, will you be walking with Elias, or are you still remaining part of the Roman Empire?
The only thing I gotta say is this. Superman punch, spear, pin.
Excellent. Simple but effective.
Yep.
I have to agree.
It's gonna be Roman.
Yep, I have to agree. It's going to be Roman. I mean, come on, man. Elias can only go so far. For me, I'm so over Elias. He can just keep on walking. Beth?
He's another act that I have to mute him.
I think we all do. Beth, how about you?
Although it would really benefit Elias to actually get a big win on a pay-per-view over an opponent like Roman. I think Roman's going to get it. But I do also have to say I am completely impressed and very happy with the fact that since he came back in February, they've been kind of relegating Roman to the mid-card, having him feuding with people like McIntyre and Elias and stuff like that, and not pushing him into the title picture and shoving him down our throats. I don't dislike Roman. I just dislike the fact that they're constantly trying to keep him in the title picture and shove him down our throats that way. I mean, in my opinion, the biggest thing he could have done, the biggest thing he did that helped actually finally get him over was Superman punching McMahon. I think they're going to keep that momentum going, and I think Roman's going to win.
All right, awesome. Time for station identification.
This is the horror king of the kingdom, Vinny Marseglia, Insanity, and you are listening to the Square Circle Cafe.
All right, continuing on with our Money in the Bank predictions. The WWE Championship is on the line as Kofi Kingston will be defending against Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, seeing that Big E was out with an injury, offered to be the third member of the team, even going so far as to eat pancakes, make the announcement, try and fail to wiggle his hips like Big E. And it seemed like it was all working out. Turns out it was just one big betrayal on Kevin Owens' part to get Kofi in a false sense of security, just so he could challenge him for the championship. He has gone so far as to beat up Xavier Woods a number of times and take out Kofi Kingston, and this past week he had a little help from Sami Zayn. But Kofi has proven himself to be a fighting champion and saying he's not going down without a fight. Kofi has done everything he can to prove himself as a champion, and this will just be another step showing that he will be a fighting champion. So, are we going to be on the Kevin Owens show, or is it still going to be running through Kofi Mania? Jeremy, we'll start with you.
Okay, before I make my prediction, come the hell on. I could see that turn coming from about 50 miles away. And if you couldn't see it, you're blind as a bat. I'm sorry. I mean, even Big E could see it.
That's true. You did try to warn them.
But having said that, I think Kofi Mania rolls on and Kofi wins it.
All right, Beth, how about you?
Of course, Kofi Mania is going to rule on and Kofi's going to win it. The WWE just announced they're doing a tour and they're going to Ghana. What better way to go there than to have Kofi Kingston as champion?
Oh, I must have missed this. That's pretty awesome that they're going to be heading towards Ghana. Kofi get a chance to see some of his home country. But yeah, I'm sorry. I'm loving the fact that Kofi is the champion. I'm loving the fact that he got the build-up that he did. That matchup at WrestleMania had me on the edge of my seat. Beth can attest to it. I was in tears when he won. It was just one of those things that I was just like, oh my God, yes, 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 yes. And then he won. I was like, yeah! I think I woke up the neighborhood.
You woke me up.
Yeah.
I fallen asleep, and legit, it was nothing to do with the quality of the match. It was how fucking long WrestleMania was.
But yeah, it was just one of those things like, when you can get a match get me emotionally involved, you know it's a good matchup. So happy to see Kofi win, and I would love to see him continue on through SummerSlam as a champion. Well, let's not forget the fact that there's still the Money in the Bank possibility looming in the background. But for me, yeah, I'm going also with Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, I can't see them taking it away from Kofi yet. Not until after they get back from Ghana.
All right, we have the Universal Championship on the line as Seth Rollins, the Beast Slayer, the man who slayed the beast. Thank you, Lord. defending the Universal Championship against the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. AJ won a couple of matches to become the new number one contender for the Raw Championship. It's pretty much been a game of one-upsmanship between the two of them, but it's hard to say which one has gotten the upper hand on each other because they really are pretty much equal match in this. So with that being said, are we going to see the Beast Slayer continue on his reign as Universal Champion, or will the Universal Championship become phenomenal? And I have a special guest speaker in charge for this one. Son, come on down. He wants to chime in on his predictions. So while we're waiting for him to come down, Beth, what do you say?
Okay. They need to, after having the title on that pathetic excuse for a champion for far too long, they need to actually build the title back up and give it some meaning. So, in my opinion, Seth's going to retain, and they're going to let Seth build it up, and help bring value back to the Universal title.
Thank you. That makes sense.
All right, stepping forward so that way people can hear you better. Here he is, Seth Rollins' number one fan, my son, Sean Awesome. Sean,
Aye.
What would you like to say about the Seth Rollins AJ Styles predictions?
Well, I gotta say, anybody going against Seth, get ready to die.
So simple but effective, huh?
Yes.
So, in your own words, what are you saying?
Seth's winning.
All right.
All that oppose shall be terminated.
All right. So you're thinking the phenomenal one will be burnt down.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that.
Yeah, the house he built, it's burning to the ground.
All right. Very nice. So Jeremy, on to you now.
He's gonna burn it down. I'm going with Seth.
Excuse me.
Yep.
Smart
As
choice.
much as my husband is an AJ Styles fan, and I do respect AJ Styles as a performer, I am also going to agree that the phenomenal one will have to feel it being burned down around him. So yes, I'm also going with Seth Rollins to retain the Universal Championship.
However, I don't think that's the end of it. I think they're gonna. I think this is gonna go on for a few months.
Oh, you think this feud is going to be one to continue?
Oh yeah. I wouldn't call it right there. I wouldn't end it right there. I'd keep this going. This is gonna be fun.
Do you think this is the kind of feud that'll last long enough to have a rubber match at SummerSlam?
I think they can get there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it might be able to work out. I mean, I think more people need to be invested in the storyline. So if they have this match and then they have another match, then more people can get behind it, because I can kind of tell that the audience is kind of like about it. But I think, given a chance, this actually could build up to be a really good feud. So here's hoping that we get to see some good things come out of this. Alright, and now finally we have the SmackDown Women's Championship on the line, as Becky Two Belts is not only defending the Raw Championship against Lacey Evans, she is also defending the SmackDown Championship against her longtime rival, the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Charlotte and Lacey both took out the man this past Monday during their contract signing. And as we all know, Becky and Charlotte has had a long-standing feud with each other. Long-standing history, I should say, with each other. So this is going to be I think this will probably be the final match between the two of them, but who knows? We'll have to see what happens. But I also forgot to ask something earlier, but I'll ask it after we get this prediction done. So do you think the Queen will once again reign as 9-time Women's SmackDown Champion? Or do you think the man will prove that she is the man and successfully defend her championship against the Queen? Beth, we'll start with you.
Honestly, I think, to a degree, as much as I love her, that the Becky T. Belt thing isn't working out so well for them as they thought. It doesn't seem to be getting over as much with the fans. So honestly, as much as it pains me to say this, I think Becky's going to lose it, and it's going to go back to Charlotte, leaving Becky to finally have some time and flourish on Raw, because honestly, since the brand split started, Becky's always been on SmackDown.
All right, that's a good point. Jeremy, how about you?
Well, I said this would come. I said that my Money in the Bank and SmackDown Women's title predictions would tie together. Here it is. I think Charlotte will become 9-time Women's Champion for all of about 2 minutes.
Oh.
Then I think Becky cashes in, or Bayley cashes in, wins it off her. There's a feud.
Excellent. That was actually going to be one of the questions I was going to ask, and I've forgotten to ask. But since Jeremy already answered with his prediction, Beth, do you think whoever wins the Money in the Bank will cash in that very night, or do you think they'll wait? It doesn't matter if it's the Raw or SmackDown. Do you think Miss Money in the Bank will cash in?
Honestly, with who I'm predicting it to be, I think she's going to be very calculating, and she's going to wait and pick her moment.
I'll have to agree. Whoever was my pick for Money in the Bank, I think she'll be the same way. I think she's going to pick her moment. I think she's actually going to not do the surprise cash-in, and she'll probably do the cash-in and have a match. Like, cash it in, but then have like a match later on at another show. Probably SummerSlam.
Not to mention, no disrespect meant at all, Jeremy, but in my opinion, Bayley to me seems more like the type that would win the briefcase and then immediately announce that on the next pay-per-view she's challenging whoever the champion is. Because Bayley is the type that seems to believe in fair competition, and she would rather go with somebody that is ready for her than somebody caught unsuspectingly.
Yeah, but maybe she snapped. Or maybe she snapped over being passed over with this whole, Charlotte thing.
Yeah, he could have a point there. I mean, Bayley has snapped once before, so it's only going to be a matter of time before she snaps again. And now that I think about it, seeing
given the fact that her lovely best friend has come back to Twitter recently and is completely denouncing the fact that she said she was going to quit and that she's taken her ball and gone home, she's going to wait until she has the backup of that stupid boss to back her up. She's not stupid enough that she's gonna try to do something on her own. She's gonna wait till she's got somebody on her side and has some backup.
That's also a good point too, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. Alright, folks, those are it. Those are our Money in the Bank. That's all, folks.
Use them.
Oh. What'd you say?
I said words. Use them.
Our studio audience laughing at me there. Alright, well, those are our Money in the Bank predictions. And that is our Money in the Bank predictions show. And I know we're definitely going to be seeing it this Sunday on the WWE Network. I know I'm excited for it, and I know everyone else is excited for it. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen next. Plus, Beth, Jazz and I will be attending the SmackDown 2 days after Money in the Bank. So who knows? We could be seeing a cash-in this Tuesday. Or at least we'll get to see who becomes the Money in the Bank winner. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens next. The aftermath was building up, so we can't wait to see that. Jeremy, it's always a pleasure having you on. You are always the best thing that happens on this show, along with Beth. JC unfortunately was not able to make it today, but I'm sure her predictions will be coming up sometime soon. If not on Twitter, it'll be on either Tumblr or on our Facebook page. But either way, be sure to check out those predictions. You can find us at the Crown Plaza Hotel in Warwick, Rhode Island for New England Fan Fest. Be sure to check that out. AllAccessEntertainment.com is where you can get your tickets. You'll be seeing us live there. Jeremy will be joining us on the show audio-wise. We'll have Sizzling Stan Styles as our very special guest, along with my husband, Jazz. Fill in the sentence. You'll see who it is when you get there. Thank you so much for joining us. Beth, thank you for your predictions. My son, our special guest, Sean Awesome, coming in. Plus, you can also check out my husband's YouTube channel. You can go to Dream Matches WOW on YouTube, where you can see original matches made up by Jazz and see for yourself. If there's a match you want to see, you can go to his channel and ask to see certain matches, and he'll put it together for you. So be sure to tune in to us, and be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Be sure to check out this podcast. Go to our Facebook page, Square Circle Cafe, Tumblr, Square Circle Cafe, our Twitter, SCC Podcast. And be sure to check us out. Thank you so much for tuning in. Jeremy, thank you as always for joining us. And thank you all for listening in. Yes, Jeremy?
I just said, you bet.
All right, thank you so much. Square Circle Cafe, for wrestling fans, by wrestling fans. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.